Hello, everybody. Spirit of 420 here because everything I do is so 420, including choking on this jaybird right away. Hey, I kept it. I kept it cool. So the name is pretty clear. Well, it is exactly 1 year as a 504. Um, in fact, the young woman who was there and tried to save his life that day. She's here. His secret girlfriend's here. They're all down below. And we'll just keep it from me today. I'll explain what's going on, and then we'll be doing this every year. So, and what I will say right out of the gate, 1 minute is nearly not enough. It's the thought that counts, and you'll understand what I mean here in just a moment. So every year I'm going to start streaming at 504. Love you too, man. I appreciate it. Every year I will start streaming at 504 Mountain Time PM. That was the exact moment that Skylar left this plane of existence and entered a new one. Now, that said, he was 22, so he would be 23 right now. So I will stream the number of minutes that he would be. So this year is 23. Next year, the number of years he would be. Excuse me. I'll stream the same number of minutes that he would be years. There you go. That's what I was trying to say. So today, and I'm keeping an eye on it, but today is 23 minutes. In fact, I need to just set a little timer. That's what I meant to do, but I didn't have the timer to do it. So what, we've been going 3 months now, so we'll just make it 19 minutes. And then when this goes off, I'll need to count it down. But each year I'll add another minute. And whatever I need to get, we'll get. I can tell you it makes the most sense, because if I end up getting this particular episode up to, let's say 50, well, damn, I'm going to be close to 80 years old. And I'm not going to lie at that. When I say close to 80, I would be 79. So, and funny enough, 28 is the exact age that I was when I had the boys, when the twins were born. The twins were born in 2000, and I was born in 72. So there you go. I just turned a fresh 28 because my birthday is in May. If you remember, I've streamed on it before. In fact, ever since I started this, my first live stream was actually on my birthday, May 19th. But the boys were born June 4th. So one thing I'll go ahead and say right now is I can hear the lovely group downstairs listening to me. So being that it has a little delay, maybe you could turn the volume down just a tad bit, maybe take it down to 25. That said, it is a beautiful day. It is a hard day, as I said yesterday. And, not a whole lot really has changed. And what I mean by that is it was a buildup until this moment. So I feel like from now, it's only going to start to get better. And literally from this moment forward, starting with doing the stream, it's only going to get better because the anger, I told you, has been building up. I can't stop it. I have not been able to find a way. That's why I know it's like it's thing that's just programmed into us, right? No matter how much I love myself, no matter how much I love my son, my family, and everything that I'm doing, I am just waking up pissed off and angry. I want to cry for no reason. I want to yell and scream at people for no reason. And I'm believing that is now going to get better. It's a build up to knowing that the 1 year anniversary of the greatest pain I've ever experienced is here. As humans, we clock off this shit, right? It would be really nice if we didn't do time the way we do, but every year I can now rest assured my subconscious is going to be like, oh yeah, you're not going to fucking go one year without knowing what the hell October 22nd is all about. And that's fine. One thing I was talking to recently, another parent who lost a child, it never gets easier. it's funny because people try to say that, but with a child, and I get it because I've heard parents say this before I went through it, but other parents have said, and I've heard them, that when you lose a child, it never gets easier. You know, what it does is the longer from it, the longer the time, the more distance for parents, that is, and I think other people will have it. I do believe that it's not going to be the same for everybody because it's not their child, and that's okay. You know, he was only my child and a few other people, and that's fine. In fact, I treasure that. You know, but what I do know is that um, I'm going to have to fight this, you know, and it's going to be there. And I don't think other people will have the same thing, but it doesn't get easier. It just becomes a little less sharp and simpler to get past the moment. But when I feel the pain, and this is all I can tell you, when I feel the pain, it's like I'm back on October 22nd. And I see I still have another time left because I didn't get the actual news until 10:30. That was very, very hard, but that's the coroner called. So I have that time to look forward to as well. And if you don't know, the reason that I am now, love you, brother. Good to see you. Playing with the new. What you got to at least describe, tell the folks, because this is one of my best friends, and everything happens for a reason. So my best friend has a daughter that her birthday is today. May I say how old? Let me know if I can. And tell us what cool gift you got for your daughter, because I think awesome. I know so much has happened because of the day leading up in my life, and it is his being mostly positive with a little bit of negative, mine being really mostly positive with the negative, obviously, of what it is. So, of course, on the first year that my son has been gone for a year, this is the time that his daughter has made it into double fucking digits. So everybody get her a happy birthday, because she's now 10, and we all remember what that is. Once you get through those first 9 years of single digits, it's a whole new world. It doesn't change until you turn 100 and go into the 3-digit syndrome, which, gosh, I quite frankly, I don't know that I want to see those many years. But that right there shows the balance, folks. It all happens for a reason. Yes, I love and miss my son, and yes, I get angry. Clearly, I can now tell you that I'm gonna probably get angry like this every year, unless something magical happens, And anger is not. I want everybody to know this too, because I think a lot of people may think this. I am definitely not angry at Sky. It is more angry at the world because there's nothing I can do about it. So the anger is oh man, I appreciate that. She's a sweet one. We got you. Dude, half the time she's the one watching the with him, so I got to give her a shout out. But back to what I was forgetting. I told you I was forgetting. I don't want to write stuff down, but I'm getting to the point where if I don't start writing it down as I say it, I can't remember a damn thing. You know what I mean? It's funny because you really do as well. I will say this. I'll just continue with this thought. When times like this come about, the yearly moments, you really find out who, and I'm not saying they're better or worse people, but you really find out who's paying attention to your life and who's just along for the ride. For instance, I don't know if he's watching right now, but I think I've told most people this. I've started a investigation team, paranormal investigation, and this is my co-captain. And it's not a coincidence that 5:15 he is saying, "Hey, hope you're doing okay and love you." It's not a coincidence. It's not a coincidence that Joe and Dante are the first two people in here, other than maybe my family downstairs. Again, it's not a coincidence. So I do apologize, but I want him to know I'm okay. So I'm just going to tell him real quick. I hope y'all don't mind. Yes, I am streaming right now. It sucks because he has been sick and down. He was supposed to be here Friday. We were supposed to get together Friday for something, but I don't want to voice his sickness, but he has a sickness that will just haul up and kick the shit out of him. And funny enough, I have some medicine for him because I have kratom for him, and didn't get a chance to drop it in the mail yesterday, and I feel like shit. Of course, he doesn't. He's not going to make me feel like shit, but I still do. That's just the way it is. So I'm probably going to drive Monday and meet him halfway so that he can get some medicine. But that's a whole nother story. Again, when times like this come about, it's kind of a good checkoff time, because feel like a graph when you go and look at software, right? And there's all these little check marks, and once you get down to like their best package, right, it's just check marks all the way down, right? I kind of look at people like that, and what I mean by that is, I unconditionally love anything. The reality is everybody has their place where they've checked off things, and there's very few people in my life that have the column, if you will, from bottom, just where they didn't miss a thing. I'm not going to sit and name any names. You know who you are regardless, and it doesn't mean anything if you're not the one. By the way, I love you unconditionally, whether you're one check mark or 100 check marks. I love you unconditionally. It just lets people and me know who was paying attention and where I am on the totem pole. Look at that. I told him, look at that. See, I love you too, man. I love you too. And I know I'm just going to say this, and I don't mean to call anybody out, but Jeremy's not the kind to tell you he loves you very often. That's not who he is. So when he does say it, he's going against, who he is at his core and saying it. So I really do appreciate it, brother. And there's nothing wrong with that. Everybody's different, That's what makes the world go round. I was literally just talking you up because I was sitting here telling people how, it's no coincidence that, shortly after 5, you're texting me, how are you, making sure you're okay and that you care about me. I mean, that's just, it goes to show you again where people's priorities are for you. Now, that doesn't mean, because I don't want people to think for a minute that if they haven't done everything in the world, like other people, that they are not equal to me. That's not the case. That's not the case. If you're in my life, then you are equal. But I can tell you this, and here's the only way I can say it. Those who have more check marks probably are spending more time with me simply because there's more check marks. So it's really just a matter of who's, and that's all it is. It means nothing because I treasure the time that I spend with any of my friends, I have to heat this coffee up. It is so cold. Enough. And Dante, this person, and Jay knows of them, but I don't think that he's met her. But like, there's this new female, and really couple. It's a couple, actually. There's a new couple in my life, and see you later, buddy. There's a new couple in my life, and I'm trying to be open with them, but one of the things that I've said to anybody dealing with anything is it's really, I love the 12 steps, right? They resonate so much for life in general, especially if you don't want religion, like a lot of people don't. Let's see if it's hot enough. No. The reason I say that is because really within the first 3 steps, it's and asking God, admitting that you have a problem, admitting that there is a higher power, and then asking that higher power for help. So what is the first 3 steps? Yeah, this is what's really funny. But what does the first 3 steps teach you? It just teaches you to fucking pray. Like, I mean, did you not hear it? last night's episode, I called it humbleness and humility. You know, one of the things that it takes a lot of is both being humble and full of humility to ask God for help. And, you know, a lot of people may not understand that. But here's the thing. If anybody who doesn't understand that typically will feel like it's a sign of weakness to pray, particularly to a unknown, unguaranteed higher power, right? Well, one of the things that I have tried to say, and one of the things that God has done throughout, the history of our world, constantly prove to people that God exists, and those people give testimony. I am not a prophet, but I am, in my opinion, like any other of the thousands upon thousands upon thousands of messengers that have received proof that God is there and shares that proof. And hey, this you'll be happier if you try this out. And what's funny, I love this world for some things, and it's pain in the ass, brothers. One of the things they do in AA, and I'm not trying to preach AA, I'm just telling you, I'm using it because it works. One of the things that I remember they said right when I first got in, they're like, look, if you have a hard time with God, and they're really talking to the atheists and agnostics of the world, right? If you have a hard time with God and believing it, just believe in the fact that a higher power is anything greater than you. It doesn't have to, and the way that they described it, right, was think of like nature. The wind can blow you over, and the wind and water can erode something and take it from being something great to removing it altogether, right? Just due to what it is. That's why I've always stuck around. Respect your vision in here. I love you, man. Good to see you, Vital. I'm trying. It was right there. All right. I've got to figure out. I'm telling you, I wish I had a rewind. I wish that life was TiVo'd and I could go, what was I saying? All right, and skip back forward. That was perfect. That literally would make my old brain happy as a clam in shit. I think my mom to do it downstairs. I think they're watching it. Try. What were you talking about? Isn't that funny? All the stoners, all of us, none of us can fuck what was being said just a few fucking minutes ago because we are all just stoners. And God bless us. The real piece of it is God. That's where I was at, and I've got it back. It is the fact that when you are not willing or ready to admit in a God in that form of higher power, then just think of the elements themselves. Okay, wind, water, fire, and earth. Those elements, just by themselves, any one in particular, but you put the four together, and it absolutely is true. But those four elements in any one, like I said, by itself, is more powerful than you. Period. So in the beginning, if you don't want to believe in a God, then believe in the universe and the powers of the universe as your higher power. And I'm just telling you something that will give you great relief in this world is learning those 3 steps. Here's the beautiful thing about it. I don't mean to ruin it for anybody, but they are literally the steps learning to pray. But don't think of it that way. Think about it as steps learning humility, being humble, going, you know what? I cannot fix this problem. And you give it to God. You let go, let God. All the fucking messages are the same. These things that I say, they're always the same, right? They're just in different words because different people hear them different ways. That's why, and again, I don't mean to sound conceited at all, in the sense that I'm a messenger. There has been thousands upon thousands of messengers that bring their message. And the whole point is that no one person is going to give the right message to the whole world and everybody understand it. That is absurd. There's a billion people for more than 1 billion, actually, for each continent that we have. And there's nobody really living on Antarctica, right? So it's like 1.25 billion for each continent if you just do the average, right? You cannot send one person at any one particular time and expect that message to be understood by everybody. If you're smart about it and you know what you're doing, God, you're going multi messages, you're going messengers, sending it at different times throughout history in different languages, in different regions, because each place is going to have it and be ready at just the right time to hear the message. So it's an internet day and age, and I am now trying to give my message to folks, and my message of the fact that there is a God. There is something better. If you take the time, and again, you don't have to do it in God format, just pray to the fucking elements, right? Pray to the elements. Fire, please do this for me because I can no longer, and you're not have to burn it down. You're just giving it to something stronger. And it's more about admitting the problem and asking for help, because the bravest thing anybody ever asked for was help. So I love all of y'all. I didn't have time. I thank you, Jess. I love you. I've got 20 seconds to get here where I'm going to end it at just that right time. But I want all of y'all to know I love you so much, and I will be seeing you again really soon. I'm taking tomorrow off, but I will be back on tomorrow's 25th, and I will see you then. And all of you are awesome, and all of you are incredible. Love you. Peace.
I switch here, I'm a strange fuck. Consist on ain't something I could say well. Throw my change into the wishing for a change well. Wish your day a swell life for the next come. And when the next come, pretend that it's the best one. Like I ain't even gonna try and say that to the next one.